I don't think you really understand how much crypto can actually change your life in a 12-month period. And I don't mean just your life. I mean the lives of everybody around you if you do this bull market correctly. And I say that as someone who's made $8 million online investing in the crypto. In particular, one of my accounts, I've grown from 500K at the start of this bull run to just under 5 million US dollars at the moment. And that was around a 2-year time span. So in this video, I want to take you guys on this journey that I went on from when I started investing about 7 years ago, having $5,000 to my name, all the way to making $8 million, and what that looks like from looking at my Google Photos, looking at Snapchats that I was taking, what my life looked like during, the first 2.5 years of losing money, all the way to the journey of making money and traveling the world and different things like that. And just keep in mind, I had a very normal upbringing. I want to show you guys where I lived, for example, not my exact house. I would never show you that. I grew up in a small town in Australia called Coffs Harbour. Very normal city. Like there was no incredibly wealthy people here. Had a very normal middle-class upbringing. We went on once a year vacations to Fiji or Bali, whatever the, typical tourist spot was. We'd go have takeaway once a week. Definitely we're not poor by any means, but we were not wealthy. I was very much in the middle. A lot of people have these crazy come up stories. And honestly, mine was like super normal. Like there was no chip on the shoulder. I didn't have money, but I managed to figure out how to make money. And maybe some of you guys watching this video have a similar story, and this you might be able to relate to the place that I've come from. And I want to show you guys in this video as well, the 11 steps that allowed me to achieve these results, going from having, at one point, $2,000 to my name, you'll see this in 2020, to my first $1 million just over 12 months later. And I want to also really just try to help you avoid a lot of the mistakes that I made making that first million, making a lot of money in those 12 months, and sort of all the mistakes you could have avoided between when I got into crypto and where I am now. And hopefully after learning these lessons, you can achieve what I've achieved in a much shorter time span. I got into crypto about mid-December 2017. And it was just like 1 week after I graduated high school. And I made a little bit of money on Tron. Tron was the first coin that I found. I loved the Tron movie. And so when I came across Tron, I was like, damn, this is like one of my favorite movies, but I can invest in it. That was what took me down the rabbit hole. And it was on the 14th of May in 2018 that I got my first ever crypto airdrop. It was like $50 for free. Doesn't sound like much, but at the time it was a lot of money. The airdrop went up after I sold it to about being worth $2,000. And it was super painful. That was like probably a month of income, maybe 2 months of income at the time. So a lot of money for me, especially being in the middle of a gap year. I was traveling, I wasn't earning money. An extra $2,000 would have been a lot when you're an 18-year-old broke backpacker. On the 22nd of May, 2018, I was buying Pepe NFTs. There's a video you'll watch on this where I'm just showing you the Pepe NFTs that I was buying at the time. And this was one of the first ever NFT airdrops in crypto history. And I didn't make money from this, but it was more just an experimentation. I remember while I was buying these NFTs, it was 7 p.m. and I was in Israel, in Tel Aviv, with my friends on this gap year that I was on at the time. And my friends wanted to go watch a movie, and I knew this NFT was dropping. I could make some money. So I said to them, no, I want to stay home. I got to call my parents. I said I had to do something. And they were like really sus. Like, what is this guy, staying home for? Why wouldn't he want to come watch a movie with us? And at the time, keep in mind, I didn't tell anyone that I did crypto. They sort of had an idea. They'd see here and there because we were obviously spending every day together. But I really did not want my friends to know that I was doing crypto because if you're not aware, at the time, the market was dead. And crypto in 2018, no one thought it was worth investing in. Everyone thought it was a scam. So I just lied to them. I said I wanted to stay home. And then I was buying these Pepe NFTs, which was quite funny. But unfortunately, these NFTs didn't make me any money. Now we move on to the 11th of October, 2018, where I still didn't have much money. I was just continually losing money in crypto. I'd finished my gap year. I came home from traveling overseas with barely any money, being a broke backpacker. And I thought, how do I make money? Fuck. So I started selling PlayStation games to get money for crypto. You can see here, these are like me taking photos. I put them on eBay, was making $20, $30 selling these per game for these PlayStation games. And that was me just trying to get capital to put into crypto. Like any money that I could find, I needed to put it in the crypto. And as well as this, I was reading books about investing at the time. You can see here, I was taking photos of these investing books that I was reading. This one was talking about bull markets and bear markets. I can't remember what it was called. It might be called The Psychology of the Stock Market. But I was reading this at the time, and this is honestly a really, really big contributor to my investing success, having read books like this, because they give you a really strong fundamental understanding of the market cycle. And they're just written so well. This book was over 100 years old. I'm pretty sure, but it was so invaluable to my journey. Now, from when I got into crypto until the 16th of April in 2020, I wasn't really making any money, but I decided to contact my first ever mentor. So I saw one of my favorite traders on Twitter. He posted a tweet saying, if anyone wants to get mentored, email me. But he didn't post this as a tweet on his account. He posted it as a comment under someone else's tweet. Some random guy's tweet, he commented it. And I saw that tweet for some reason. It had 0 likes, 0 engagement, but I thought, this guy's a great investor. I want to learn from him. And so I emailed him. Actually, you can see the email here, April 16th, 2020. And I basically just introduced myself, told him about what I was doing. I was studying a Bachelor of Education. I actually did go to uni for 1 semester. And we ended up talking. You don't see it here, but it took me 3 months of emailing him and multiple emails before I actually had a call with this guy and started working with him. And this first mentor that I had, he taught me so much about money, about business, about investing, about trading especially. And that really kickstarted the journey that I went on to making money. And then it was 3rd of November in 2020, so about 6 months later, I invested all of my money into a high ticket sales course. There was a guy on Twitter called the Do Lab. I had about $7,000 to my name. You can see in the conversation I had with him about $7,000. And his course was $5K. So I put $5K into his course, and then I had $2,000 to invest within the crypto. And if you look at the date of that conversation and the date of when that was on the chart for Bitcoin, it was right before we went parabolic. You can see here the 9th of November. It was actually as we were going parabolic. So I had literally just sold most of my crypto to give this guy money to learn how to make money online from high ticket sales just before the bull run was beginning. But I do not regret that decision at all because I had less capital, but I was able to get a gig in high ticket sales making 10, 15K a month, which I then put that money back into crypto and it ended up paying off massively. And so from this point onwards, from when I had started that course, I had that mentor, the bull run was beginning, the 12 months from this point onwards were massive for me. I made a lot of money. I bought Solana at $7 and I rode that all the way up to $250. I also got sponsored to go to the Breakpoint conference, which was with a bunch of other young builders and educators in the Solana ecosystem. And that was really good. I got to meet Kyle Samani, the VC guy behind Multicoin Capital, which ended up actually getting wrecked when FTX collapsed. So he actually lost a lot of money. But at that point, I think he was a billionaire. So made a lot of valuable connections at this event. But that was really the Kickstarter of my journey. And so from the 14th of January 2022, I think before this, honestly, I moved into my dream apartment. It was a high rise on the 35th floor in the Gold Coast, one of the best apartments you could get in the city, had a really nice view and everything. And I was traveling the world, sort of living my best life. And that was 12 months after I'd started with that $2,000 investment amount. And so a lot can change in 12 months. I think that's the lesson I want you guys to know. Like a lot can change in 12 months, depending on what decisions you're making, how much effort you're putting into investing, and also the stage of the market cycle. And so I want to go over 11 steps now that you can use to change your life with crypto in the next 12 months. The first lesson I want you guys to know about crypto is that you need to pick a path. In crypto, there's 2 ways that I've seen people make a lot of money. They either basically follow a pro or they become a pro. And I've really never seen anyone else make a lot of money and keep it in any other path that they could take. And, you know, some people, they're passionate about business. And so it makes sense for them that they follow someone who's a pro at crypto because they don't really care about it. But there's some people who are obsessed with crypto and they love learning about it. And so these people, like myself, it's better that you become a pro. And for the sake of this video, we're going to talk more about that second path. We're going to talk about if you want to become a pro at crypto and how you go about doing that. And so to become a pro at crypto, you need to pick a niche. There's so many ways to make money from crypto. You can't make money from them all. You're not going to be the guy who's making money from trading and also airdrop farming, and he's also staking, and he's also a long-term investor. In my opinion, you need to pick 1 or 2 niches, and you need to become one of the best in those niches. Now, when you're beginning investing, how are you going to know what you like doing? Well, you're probably not. So you're best off when you start off to try everything. Start broad. Try trading. Try investing. See what style suits your personality. For example, I've found that people who are more adrenaline seeking prefer to be trading because there's more adrenaline associated with being a trader. You're making more investment decisions, your portfolio fluctuates more, there's more volatility, it's more exciting. People who tend to be more introverted, less adrenaline chasing, they are the ones that go on to be more investors. And so you need to think about yourself as a person. What character traits do you possess? What do you desire? And you'll be able to understand better what makes more sense for you. For me, I'm not a big adrenaline seeker. I don't really care about skydiving and big wave surfing. I'm more chill, so I prefer investing. That's way more my style. Trading is not for me. me. And realistically, like I, for the first few years, was trying a bunch of things. I tried day trading, I tried technical analysis, doing all these charts, I tried swing trading, but ultimately I really started to make money when obviously the market turned around. But when I really honed in my style of approaching the market, which was from a longer term perspective. Number 3, find a mentor. As I showed you, I contacted that guy who was one of the best traders that I know, and he became my personal mentor. And that mentorship changed my life forever. And I really think that if you are lacking a mentor in the beginning of your journey, you're missing out. You need a mentor. You need someone who's done what you want to do, who you're in contact with, who can really help you understand the path to go forward. It's super important. He didn't just teach me about trading. He gave me opportunities within crypto that got me set up, making income online. I had my first ever online gig from this guy in something trading related. He also was just mentoring me in how to approach money, how to think about money, how to be a better trader. And he showed me how much went into actually being a profitable trader, all the systems. They had a 50-page booklet showing how to actually make money trading, following his system. Expand your time horizon. So if you're watching this video near where I've recorded it, you've probably made money this bull run. You've probably done well or really well, and you've likely extrapolated in your brain, if I've made in the past 6 months 3x, 5x on my money, if I just 3x my money every 6 months, I'm going to do really well. Unfortunately, that's not how markets work. And I had to learn this lesson the hard way. Most people in crypto, and when I say most, I mean probably 95%, make money in their first cycle, whether it's a 2x, 10x, 50x, 100x, doesn't matter how much they make, and they end up losing almost all the profit, or they lose all the profit and they go into a significant loss. Most people in crypto in their first cycle make money and they don't keep it. And it doesn't matter how smart you are, doesn't matter how much capital you start with, doesn't matter what stage in the market you're in, doesn't matter about any other factor. There's going to be multiple 80% wipeouts of your portfolio before you're actually able to keep profits long term. If you guys read any of the investing books from some of the best investors in the world, they all tell you about the massive wipeouts that they had. Guys that went on to make hundreds of millions of dollars telling you about how they lost all their money multiple times. So if the best investors are losing all their money, why would you be any different? You wouldn't. So you just need to expand your time horizon, I believe, because it actually is going to take longer than you think to make money, but it's going to come quicker than you think once you're ready. And so that's what happened with me, right? I went from $2,000 to making my first million in about the span of a year, but I had 3 years before that where I didn't make money. And I thought I was going to have money by then. So you can sort of see the growth was exponential. It took longer to kick off, but once it kicked off, it went really quickly. And you have to understand that it's actually a good thing that you have these massive wipeouts, because pain is a design feature of human nature to create a permanent solution to avoiding repeated errors. There's a lot of things that you have to learn in life through first-hand experience that can't be learned in any other way. And investing lessons is one of those. If you do not have this pain associated with making bad decisions, you're going to make a bad decision. And that's what's happened to me, right? I can remember selling my Toshi distinctly in my brain, thinking it was going to top at 160 million market cap a few weeks ago. And then it went 5x the 3 days later. So I missed out on an extra $1.5 million in profit because I sold it too early. And that pain is going to live with me forever. I'm never going to forget that. But that's a good thing, because if I ever have a situation in the future where something similar is happening, where I want to sell, but I probably should be holding, I shouldn't be so quick to sell, then that's going to be able to help me make the correct decision by being a reminder, hey, Daniel, that's a dumb decision you're about to make. Remember the last time that happened? So what you need to do is you need to understand you got to build up battle scars from losing and gaining and everything in between as a permanent solution to the ongoing battle that will occur of emotions trying to dictate investment decisions. The 5th step, I think, is study. So once you've honed in a niche that you really like within crypto, you need to try to become the best in that niche, or at least one of the best, because the returns are reserved for those at the top and everyone else gets little to nothing. 99% of people are not making big money, and they're maybe losing money to the 1% of people who are at the top. And you can view it from this perspective, right? The number one best Solana meme coin trader, as an example of a niche, he's probably making tens of millions, but the 10,000th best probably doesn't make much money from Solana meme coins. So your job is to basically climb this hierarchy, climb this leaderboard to become better and better and better at your chosen niche. Now, the next point I want to make very clear is network equals net worth. And I know everyone talks about, oh my God, your network is so important, but I really, really mean it for crypto. If you aren't already aware of how important your network is, just look at this whole Libra situation, where basically a country announced that they were going to launch a token and they rugged it on everyone, and the insiders made out with $100 million or more. The insiders include the Meteora team, who are basically facilitating Solana meme coin launches, the insiders, who are sort of associated with the government that launched this, and anyone else who found out about it super early, the snipers. All these people who got in super early, who were sort of in the network for this token, they made out with millions and millions and millions of dollars. And you can see the explanation here. Argentina tweets a token. Token goes to 4.5 billion valuation. The insiders pull out 90 million. The token dies. The president deletes the tweet and the token continues to die. And I'm not telling you that you need to start doing illegal things like insider trading, but what I am showing you is an example, real time, of the value of having a network in just the most blatant recent example I can think for you. In terms of network, when I think about all the best opportunities that I've found, it wasn't necessarily handed to me from within my network, but a lot of the time that initial like, hey Daniel, look at this, came from people within my network. Classic example, I found Solana because a guy in a network that I'm in started talking about it. And he said, there's a big update coming out for Solana soon. I recommend you guys, take a look into Solana. And I took a look and I bought Solana because I really liked what I saw. And that was one of my biggest investments that made me my first million. And there's many other examples of where I got tipped off from within my network, which helped me make money. And obviously you do need to be good at crypto yourself to get into these networks. And that's sort of the point I want to make. You want to become so good at crypto that you are able to join these networks, because it is going to massively increase the amount of alpha that you're getting and the amount of money that you can make. And I want you to view it like this. In a bull run, you can find 3 home run plays, basically massive plays that you just hit it big with. Now, if you join a network with 10 others who are also at the same level as you and they're sharing their plays, they're also each going to find 3 home runs. And so if you join these networks, you've now gone from 3 home run plays to 30 home run plays per year. You can see with some basic theoretical math how much more alpha you're able to get through the value of a network. Okay, so how do you network in crypto? This is what I'd recommend for you. If you're actually going to become a pro at crypto, you should be tweeting, you should be educating, you should be building connections online. So go to Twitter, start posting content, post education, post threads, talking about things that you like. If you have a thought, just tweet it. Other smart people, if you're smart, will naturally gravitate towards you and they'll naturally start following you, commenting under your posts, liking your posts. And the goal is that you want to eventually DM these people that you've been learning from or that are following you. And you want to just start shooting shots. You want to give alpha in the DMs without expectation of return. And if you're good, they'll add you into their private circles. And that's happened to me. I've been added into several different private circles simply because I was posting information and giving alpha that they considered valuable. And they were like, yeah, we want you in our network. It's pretty simple. Another thing you can do is you can go to crypto events, but I recommend going to the side events. That's where the actually valuable conversations and people are. And you want to just start talking to people in real life. That's a good way to meet people too. And number 4, you want to join paid communities and start talking to the main guys behind it. If you can join a paid group, I know people hate paid groups, but if you can join a paid group and you can get close with the main guys behind it and show that, hey, I'm not just another member, I'm actually really good at crypto, they're going to add you into their networks. And you can view paying to get into the group as your special entry card to talk to them in a way where they might not have replied to you on Twitter, right? If they're not going to reply to you on Twitter, they probably will reply to you if you're in the Discord community, for example. In terms of a general mindset lesson, you want to try to accumulate lessons over capital. You don't need more money. That's not the thing you need. Unless you're a pro, you don't need money. You need lessons. You need to build your skyscraper by digging downwards, laying the foundations, and then you can build upwards. Most of you haven't put in strong enough foundations to be a millionaire yet. So put the foundations in for accumulating lessons and then you'll make money. Also, I'd recommend to do this, keep a journal. Don't waste a lesson. Don't waste a loss of capital. If you've lost money from something, if you've learned something from crypto, cement the lesson by writing it down in a journal. For example, when I sold Toshi and then I saw it make me an extra 2 million if I didn't sell, I made a full video reflecting on what happened and what I did wrong and how I can improve, right? That's essentially my YouTube is essentially my digital journal, explaining everything and just making sure that I mentally download all the lessons that I might have otherwise forgotten. And you guys need to do the same thing. Don't waste a lesson. Be like a sponge. I would say one of my defining skill sets has been in sourcing valuable information in my speed of knowledge acquisition. Twitter is the best source for crypto. You all need to be on Twitter if you're not already. YouTube is actually not that good for crypto. I'll be honest. It's okay if you follow the right channels, but the real value and the value that you're getting at the source is from Twitter. If you find a good video on YouTube, it's probably someone just talking about something that was already shared on Twitter. Okay. Now, I'm not saying copy trade people on Twitter. I don't make any investment decisions from my Twitter feed. But Twitter is just awesome for downloading the correct information and the correct way of thinking about things. In terms of like, if you want to follow someone to make money, you should be in their private circles, not following their Twitter account, because Twitter is where you go to source exit liquidity. That's not really the place to be for following calls, in my opinion. Now, who do you follow on Twitter? Well, if you guys go to my Twitter account, you will be able to see my following list. I've been curating a list of good accounts to follow for many years now, for about 7 years. And any account that I follow is probably good. So go through this and follow all the crypto related accounts. That'll get you a pretty solid foundational Twitter feed for crypto. Now, in terms of my favorites, Alex Kruger is a really good macro investor. Bob Lucas is a really good long-term Bitcoin buy bottom, sell top investor, keeping you rational, keeping you balanced. I really like Pentoshi for the lessons on the market cycle, and also he does alt trades and different things. He's really good. And I also really like Don Alt. He's just really good at essentially guessing the direction of the market through analyzing price action, momentum, support and resistance levels. His approach to investing is really good, so he's worth learning from too. Lesson number 10, when I made that million that I told you about in that 12-year time span, where I went from $2,000 to that first mil, there was no such thing as like AI that you could use to help learning. It wasn't really good. But now, because you're obviously trying to make money, your first million or whatever it is now, you need to be staying up to date with what the latest tech is. In my opinion, Grok is a must-have to make sure that you're learning fast enough. And maybe today you can get away with not using AI to help you learn, but in 3 years from now, if you're not using AI to help you learn, you are going to massively fall behind everyone else. And this is actually a recent addition to my toolkit. And just to give you an example of how I've used Grok, I created my entire hype thesis in about an hour by using Grok to scour Twitter for all the relevant information that I needed to confirm that I wanted to buy hype as an investment. It found me the team unlock dates, the estimated buyback percentages. It compared hype revenue to all the competitors. It explained the roadmap of the hyper EVM and much more. Just from basic prompts. Literally, you could go on Grok and ask it, just to give you an example here, what percent of the is used to buy back hype? So you can see here that it estimates about 54% of the trading revenue from perpetual futures is allocated to the assistance fund for hype buybacks. So you can basically create a thesis on an investment 100 times quicker than you could by using Google, because Grok aggregates all the collective intelligence from Twitter. When you go, let's say, use Google, you're not getting the aggregate of Twitter. You're getting the aggregate of news articles and maybe YouTube videos, but this is not where you're getting the best information for crypto. The best information for crypto is on Twitter. So you should be using an AI that aggregates Twitter, not an AI that aggregates the internet, which has fuck all information. So this is why you need to add it into your toolkit for crypto, because all the good information is on Twitter. So you may as well use the bot that's connected into Twitter. And with Grok 3, which just came out, the capabilities of Grok to help you do research analysis and fundamental analysis on everything has just gone up immensely. And every single day it's getting better. And the last lesson is one that took me a while to learn, and it's to listen to your intuition. So when you are newer to crypto, you tend to rely on other people's calls to make money, and you don't really manage your portfolio based on what you think you need to be doing. And that was what I was doing for the first 3 years, maybe 3.5 years of being a crypto investor. I was just basically making decisions based off what felt like the right thing to do from what people were saying online. And that's not a sustainable strategy. And a lot of you do it whether you consciously recognize it or not. A lot of it happens subconsciously. It's not a sustainable way to make millions. When I started following my own decisions in 2020, when I had that big growth in that 12-month period, was when I was really beginning to follow my own decisions. And this is what this mentor that I had was telling me. He was saying, Daniel, you can't rely on people on Twitter to make money. You need to be making money independently. You need to do things yourself. And that was one of the big things he taught me. And that's what I've gone on to do. I don't use Twitter, anything besides just learning new things. I don't follow any coins, don't follow any investment decisions. You have to do it all yourself if you want to become a pro at crypto. You can't be copying people. Because when you think about it, if you don't know what the price is going to do, so you go to Twitter to try to figure it out, you're going to take the most common opinion as the one that's correct, naturally, because you exhibit what's called the herd mentality. All humans think in a herd mentality. That's how we survived. So if 9 out of 10 people said we're going to this place, you would go. You wouldn't separate. You'd want to be with the herd. If 9 out of 10 people on your feed are saying the price is going up and you're unsure what to think, that's going to be what you end up being biased to think about, maybe subconsciously. So as you are becoming better at investing, you will need to move on from copying others and you will need to listen to your own intuition. Crypto has been a wild journey when you think about it, going from having barely any money, like $2,000 to invest with, to growing it to my first million in the span of a year, right? A massive change in a 12-month period, and then going on to turn it into millions and millions over the years after that. And with this capital, being able to basically travel the world, live my exact dream lifestyle and everything, and be able to help those around me as well. And that first mentor, the first course that I bought, sticking the crypto even though I didn't make money for years, all these different things, if they didn't happen, I would be nowhere near where I am today. All of those different moments were so key in my journey. And so if you're watching this video and you're still here and you have been inspired by what I've been talking about, by my journey, and you're wanting to do something similar, there's one video that I recommend that you watch. And it's this 4-hour video that I put out, which is actually a full course for free, which teaches you how to make your first million, mostly from crypto. And it's incredibly valuable. It's incredibly insightful. This would be the next step that you should be taking on your journey to how crypto could change your life in a 12-month period. I'll teach you a lot more than what this video has spoken about in this next video. So I'll see you guys there. Thank you for watching. Catch you in the next video.